Welcome, Queen. Have you ever walked away from a difficult conversation and found yourself thinking, how did that go so left so fast? Well, here's what I want you to know. This is not another conversation about setting boundaries or speaking up. In fact, it's about a different kind of mistake. The mistake that happens when you try to keep the peace, manage emotions, fix the issue, and explain yourself all at the same time. And here's what I want you to know. Personally, I used to be that woman, trying to hold the conversation together while losing myself inside of it. So, I understand what it's like to be in that position, even though that's not the position you intended on being in. Because you go into a conversation and you want clarity, but the moment tension rises, you start over explaining, defending yourself, correcting everything, managing emotions, and trying to keep the peace, like I said, all at the same time. And by the end of the conversation, you are emotionally drained and nothing has been resolved. And then, long after the conversation is over, you still find yourself thinking about the conversation because it is stuck in your head on replay. Understand, I know that situation well because I've done that too. And you may be thinking, well, I just want to be sure that I'm clear so I can be understood, so that there's no issue with this person understanding exactly what I'm saying and exactly what I mean. And I used to think that too. And I came to realize that over explaining or giving lots of details does not automatically mean that that person that you're speaking to is going to be clear on what it is that you mean. Because over explaining does not automatically create clarity. And in fact, it sometimes can cause or lead to confusion, especially unnecessary confusion. Because what tends to happen in that space is that the person can get what's called information overload, meaning they got so much information, the main thing got lost amongst the details. So your well intentions didn't shape out the way that you intended for them to. That means that it can also lead to emotional exhaustion and a loss of position in the conversation. And this is where many high achieving Black professional millennial women can struggle and not even realize it. Because professionally, you've learned how to manage pressure. But personally, you may still be trying to manage the conversation, the other person's emotions, your image, and the outcome of the conversation. And you're trying to do this all at the same time. And that's typically too much to attempt to do in one conversation, especially all at once. And the takeaway for me is that I learned that I did not need to try to control every aspect or manage every aspect of the conversation I was having or everything that was happening in the conversation. I needed to identify what the conversation required of me, whether that was clarity, correction, redirection, or even identifying, is there misalignment in this conversation? And when you identify the main objective, the main goal of your conversation, then it stops you from scrambling in the conversation, or as I often say, just being all over the place with no focus and no intention. And that's why I teach that every conversation isn't the same, because they aren't. There are some conversations that require truth. There are some conversations that require boundaries. And there are some conversations that require repositioning. And the list goes on. The key is first recognizing what that conversation requires. And to do that, you have to stop trying and attempting to manage or resolve everything emotionally in real time. Now, if you are recognizing this pattern in your conversations, I invite you to schedule a discovery call. The link is in the description and pinned to the comment section, because together we can get to the root of why your conversations keep going to the left. And that way you can have conversations with more peace, more clarity, and more composure instead of dysfunction. Because peace doesn't come from managing everybody in your conversation. Peace comes from not losing yourself inside of your conversations. As always, I'm CE Sam telling you that 24 hours doesn't seem long. But in 24 hours, you can change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing now.